Hello, welcome back to another Q&A. My name is Amy if you're brand new to this channel. And as usual, I start off with my outfits, describing what I'm wearing. So for today, I'm wearing my Chanel logo earrings from the Spring Summer collection. I'm also wearing this beautiful hair clip from Shrimps. And my top is from Self Portrait Studio. It's definitely still really in trend right now with the strong shoulders and the puffy sleeves. So I love that it's still around, and it's one of my favorite tops anyway. It is an older season top, so I won't be able to find the exact same one, but I will link similar ones that I can find. As per usual, my size in Self Portrait Studio is a UK 8, but this top I got it in a UK 6. So I'm pretty true to size. Usually for dresses, I usually go for a UK 8, but if it's a flowier or if it's a more boxier fit, then I can go down a size to a UK 6. So that's exactly what happened to this top. Alright, the first question is by Rose and also by Grace Park. Will you be getting the multi-pochette accessoire? Curious to see what your thoughts are and how you would wear it. This brand new Louis Vuitton bag is basically 3 different SLGs that are slung together with a couple of straps. One which is kind of like a nylon strap, which is thicker and very in trend, and then another strap which is a chain strap, which is shorter. And everything is attachable. You can wear it any way, customize any way you want. I am just 50-50 on this bag as to whether I would get it. The reason why I love it is because it's so versatile. You can detach and attach, and I guess any combination that you like to wear it. You can wear it higher, you can wear it lower, you can wear just the little pouch with the little chain. You can also detach the little round coin purse and put it as a charm on another bag. Whatever you want to do. So I love the idea of it, and I love how the strap, because it is the thicker logo strap, it's very in trend right now. I love it when you wear it a bit higher. So when the strap is a bit shorter and the bag sits a bit higher, it's such a good look. The reason why I don't love the bag as much, first of all, the price. I know that it's a fair price in a sense that you're getting 3 different SLGs, you're 2 different straps. So if you kind of add up all the costs, it makes sense to price it at that range. But in the end, to me, they're just SLGs, and you guys know that I'm not big on SLGs. I know that they are considered like as a whole package, as a whole bag, it's in itself. But I also see problems with the bags once they're filled, because they're 2 different pouches. I can only imagine if you fill those pouches out, because they're 2 stuck together, they can become quite bulky and stick out. Obviously I don't own the bag, so I don't know for sure, but I can only imagine. I feel like if you're gonna wear that bag, it's more just for the style. Plus they increased the price too, which is something that a lot of people are complaining as well. They just increased the price the day before the actual launch. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. And also the fact that it's over 2,000 Canadian dollars plus tax. I think with taxes it'll be like 2,300. It's quite up there. It's really expensive for what it is. I just don't feel like I need it, and also I feel like it's a trendier piece. Once you get tired of the trend, you might not like it as much. It's been so popularized by bloggers because Louis Vuitton did end up gifting this bag to a bunch of people, a few that I follow, and I don't have any, I don't have anything against them gifting the bag at all. Obviously, if they gift it to me, I would love it. But the point is, I feel like it was more popularized and influenced by those that were gifted to them. And obviously, they wear it so well. So it kind of influences people in general that they need it, even though maybe subconsciously they never really thought about getting it, but because they see it so often that they might end up getting it. And so that's something to consider, because like I said, I do love the style a lot myself. I would buy it just for the style, but I wouldn't buy it just because I feel like it's not really, I don't know how to say it, like it's not as practical as you would think. I know that there's a few pouches, but like I said, I feel like once you fill them out, which I feel like I would do, then it becomes kind of weird looking. If it's too sticking out, it would look too weird, I feel. The next question is by SK. I know that you don't buy SLGs, but do you like any of the animation line? You're totally right, I don't buy SLGs. I mean, I do have the 3 or the few that I have, which I use constantly. They're constantly being used, constantly in my bags. So I don't really add new SLGs. The only exception that I made this year was I bought that gold croc and boss card holder from Chanel from the 19A Egyptian collection, just because it's so pretty. But I don't even use it. I just bought it because I wanted to collect that one. So that was the only one exception that I made. So in terms of the animation line from Louis Vuitton, I'm not crazy about it, only because, like you said, I'm not an SLG person, but more to the actual animation is that I don't feel anything special towards those. I know they're limited edition, but it can get quite dangerous when you think about all the limited edition pieces that comes out every single year or every now and then. It can get really addictive. So that's one of the reasons why I don't get into it, because I know how easy it is to get addicted to them. I don't really get too hung up on animations. I don't get too hung up on limited edition unless they mean something special to me. So for instance, the Egyptian collection from Chanel that just passed, the 19A collection, I was in love with it because there was just something about the gold and the whole theme that just really attracts me. It's so easy to get so addicted and to accumulate so much that you don't end up using. It's just gonna take up space. You might feel guilty and anxious at one point, or at least I do. I know I will, so I don't do that. I don't make exceptions for animation just because they're cute. Next question is by Nancy Long. What are your thoughts on charms and luggage tags on purses? I have a Speedy B in Damier Ben and it is brand new. It is my first luxury purse. Do you think that the friction adds unnecessary wear and tear to the purse? I'm leaning towards a luggage tag. I actually happen to have a luggage tag on my Speedy B. Normally, I would not add any charms to my bags. I have a couple bags where I have charms on. So my Fendi Can I have my initial A with the little fur charm. So I have that. But then the Fendi bags, they are meant to add charms. They actually have D-rings, extra D-rings for you to buy their charms so that you can customize it. When I used to own my Palm Springs Mini, I had a couple charms on that because it makes the zipper a lot easier to maneuver. So those were the only exceptions. I never really add charms to any of my other bags. With this one, the reason why I have a charm on it is because this luggage tag, I actually won it from a giveaway, so it's perfect for the Speedy because it just fits on the Speedy. That's why I have it on here. Regular size keep balls do come with a luggage tag like that, so I don't think that you'll have a problem with wear and tear because it's just all leather. It doesn't have that extra hardware where it can scratch or make your bag weird in any way. So I feel like you're totally fine, because if you look at the keep balls from LV, they're just basically a larger version of the Speedy and they do have the luggage tags on them. So I think you'll be totally fine. Next question by MMCJM. I'm just wondering how you swap the bag at LV. Wouldn't the canvas cracking at the zipper edge be considered a wear and tear? How does LV differentiate between a faulty item and wear from use? My Palm Springs Mini had a crack on the canvas. I brought it back to LV to see what they can do about it, and it was deemed defective. So they gave me a choice to either replace the bag, so wait for a new Palm Springs Mini, or just get a brand new bag altogether. So I went with the route of getting a brand new bag, and you guys can watch that unboxing video if you guys want to know why I went with the brand new bag. So the process of exchanging the bag is not determined by me. I don't decide any of that. The sales associate, as well as I guess their repair members, will have to assess the bag and determine whether it is a wear and tear or if it's a defect. And so canvas cracking on the lip of that handbag is actually quite common. Plus, they were able to see that my bag was in pristine condition. I mean, other than the normal wear and tear which happened on the loops. So on the loops, there are those threads that come out. That's normal wear and tear, and I didn't even care about those things because, like I said, I know what's normal wear and tear and what's not. For me, those loop thread things, they didn't bother me anyway. I didn't really I never even talked about that, or never even thought that that was an issue at all. I'm pretty sure some people do abuse their bags, and it will show on the bag how, I guess, how bad the condition is, and on those cases maybe they will not let you have it. Like I said, I don't know, because they assess it independently. Every case is different. In my case, you can definitely tell that other than that crack and the loops having the threads, the bag is in pristine condition. So I obviously did not abuse it. I always take care of my bags. It was one of my most used ones, but still, it, you know, having the canvas crack like that is a known issue. And the SA even told me that it's a bad design. Like, she told me that, but I don't know if she was supposed to say that. She thinks that it's a bad design because the zipper always constantly rubs against that lip, that portion of the canvas, and that it is doomed to happen. So she even told me to not get the same bag. But obviously in the end the choice was mine, and the reason why I didn't go with the same bag is just because I didn't like the new ones that they have. The next question is by Grace Lee. Hi Amy, I was wondering if you know any of the websites or online selling platforms where I can sell luxury items. I want to sell my Celine bag and my Moncler puffer jacket. What are some of the websites that you recommend? One of the obvious one would be Fashionphile. I know I hear a lot of good experiences and bad experiences with them. Honestly, I've never sold with them yet. I've always gotten quotes from them. Sometimes they're great and sometimes they're not so great. So it really is up to you whether you decide to end up going with them. Aside from that, I just think that the easiest way is to go to your local consignment store. Of course, you would have to do some research on your own, because I don't know where you live. Where I live, I guess there's always Turnabout, the store that I consign most of my clothes, but I don't normally go there for luxury items just because they take 40% of the end final sale price, which is a lot. So I can do a better job myself selling them myself, which is exactly what I do. So aside from clothing, which I don't care if they sell for $3 or $8 or $20, because I just want to get rid of stuff and declutter. So clothes wise, I'm okay with selling with them. But in terms of my luxury items, even luxury clothes, which I haven't had to sell any yet, but if I had to, I would just be doing it myself privately on my own social media. Whether it is on a video like this, like a blog sale video, or on my social media such as my Instagram, those are basically the places that I would sell my luxury items. And I would do it privately, as in like that, not through someone else, and do all the work by myself. And obviously when you sell by yourself, there is a lot of work involved, and it's much more than most people think. It's not easy to sell, and so I don't recommend selling unless you really have to. And I've spoken about this topic before, where I feel like it's so much easier to buy but so hard to sell. So it's so much better if you can sort of contemplate the purchase to make sure that it's not something that you'll regret. Even before my YouTube channel, which I started in 2015, even before that, I was already selling stuff on Craigslist. I was selling on Kijiji. I even at one point when I moved across country, I created a website and I sold stuff on that website to colleagues and things like that. Like, I would just tell people that to check out my website. Even way before my YouTube years, I was already selling on eBay, and it really does come with experience. You cannot just tell somebody how to do it. You kind of have to still do it on your own, do a lot of research, experiment. You might make mistakes, and it comes with the whole territory of selling. Just like anything else you learn in life, you kind of have to do trial and error and figure out the best way that works for you. So at this point in my life, I no longer sell on eBay, not very much anyway, but I do sell privately on my own social media because I do have the platform now, and I also go through the local consignment stores for clothing. The next question is by Lily Zhang. What do you think about the mini reissue with the dark purple color embossed croc? I love your gold color one, which I originally planned to get, but after checking the secondhand market, I was surprised to see that the purple resale value is so much higher. which is also the reason why I hesitated on the gold one. You were referring to purple. I think you meant the iridescent one. The iridescent one looks pink, sometimes green, sometimes purple, sometimes even gold. So it's iridescent graffiti instead of gold graffiti. That's the only difference. Honestly, I was surprised too when I saw the resale value on Fashion File, among others, that the iridescent one was priced higher than the gold in general. I was surprised to see that too, because honestly, when I see the bag in person, I totally think that the gold looks better. But to each their own. Obviously, the iridescent one, because it's iridescent, like the word iridescent makes it more valuable. I'm not sure if that's the reason, or if in general people just prefer that colorway versus this colorway. But personally, when I look at my wardrobe and I look at my own preference, I just like the gold more. I think it looks better. And yeah, that's just a personal preference, like I said. And the reason why I went with gold is because I was truly attracted to the gold one. I wouldn't buy the iridescent one just because the resale value is higher. In the end, if you're just gonna use the bag, it doesn't really matter what resale value it is, because yeah, it makes no difference. So I went with my gut. I went with what my heart wanted and what made my heart sing more, which is the gold graffiti. I would even go as far as to say that if the gold one was completely sold out and I couldn't get my hands on it, that I would probably not even have settled for the iridescent one, even though I knew that it was more like the resale value on that one was even more incredible. So yeah, I just went with what I wanted and what I loved. And that goes back to what I said earlier too. Like, I want to buy things that I love so that I know I don't have to sell them eventually down the line just because I don't want to regret making a bad decision. The next question is by Tay's World. I'm deciding on the mini reissue or the mini Coco handle in black. One that I can wear daily, casually with jeans, and also for evening outs, which I think both can do. Does the mini reissue fit more than the Coco handle? Which one would you recommend? In terms of capacity, what they can fit is very similar, but I feel like this still fits a little bit more just because it is yeah, it is taller, right? So like, this size is really great. The reissue honestly fits more than the classic mini, so I feel like, you know, you would be good with either one for in terms of how much they fit. It's almost the same, but I feel like this fits just a tiny bit more, maybe like a couple more lipsticks. Having said that, I feel like if it's your first Chanel bag, which I know that's what you said, it's gonna be your first Chanel bag, and you want it to be as versatile as being able to wear it day and night and be a dressy bag as well. The reason why I would suggest the reissue more is because I feel like this is a little bit more carefree. Not necessarily the graffiti one, obviously, because I'm pretty sure you're not looking at the graffiti one anyway. With the Coco handle, you definitely have to baby it a little bit more because of the corners. I'm not so worried about everywhere else of the bag. I don't even care about the creasing in the back when you open it more. Eventually you will get a line here. But with the corners, I think that's the #1 place where you have to be the most careful with any Coco handle bag, regardless of their sizes. Obviously the mini will be a little bit better, but it's still gonna be something that you have to watch out for. Unless you're really set on the gold CC and having a handle, I would say that the reissue would be a safer choice, just because it's more carefree. And as a first bag, you don't want to always have to think about, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear it because the place that I'm going to, I can't be as careful. Like, it deters the purpose of having a bag that you can wear all the time. The next question is by Coco Cola 988. That's such a cool name. Can you please do a skincare routine video? Your skin is always flawless, literally always. First of all, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I've got a few comments here and there about my skin, and I get asked about my skincare routine. And the thing is, my skincare routine is so boring. I don't even know if I can make a video about it. I do have one video, which is a video from last year where I talked about getting ready and the products that I use. So I will link down below if you haven't seen that. But essentially, I don't do much because I just cleanse and I just moisturize, and that's it. I do that all the time. Sometimes I don't even wash my face at night. If I haven't gone out, like if it's a weekend and I haven't gone out and I washed my face in the morning, I don't even wash it at night. And I know that that's weird because most people will not do that. People will always be so like trying to pile on the best skincare possible, but I'm the total opposite. I used to only wash my face with water, and that's it. Like, I don't even use skincare. That's how basic my skincare is. I didn't really have a pimple problem. I never had that problem actually. Blemishes did come later in life. Actually, in my I would say in my late 20s, I started having blemishes here and there, but I think they were more hormonal versus the teenage years. My teenage years, I had completely perfect normal skin. They were just on the drier side, but I did live in the East Coast as well, so it was definitely a lot drier in the winters with the heaters on and snow and, you know, the cold weather. So that was also one of the reasons. The other thing is also I just use natural skincare. So if they can be organic, I will use just organic skincare. And I always look at the ingredients on the packaging, because even if it says organic or natural, it doesn't mean that it's 100% natural. You still have to read the list of ingredients to make sure that there aren't fillers or that they didn't put a certain chemical that is passable as being okay to put in a natural product. You still have to kind of read and filter out the ones that are bad. So throughout the years of doing that, of trial and error with different products, right now I only basically use 2 different brands of skincare. So Davida being one of them, and then the latest one that I started using is called Mad Hippie, and they're both smaller companies. I think Davida is a bigger company now, but they used to be a small company that started off, you know, women that wanted to have clean, green skincare. They don't want to slap on all those chemicals daily on their skin. So I've started using organic and natural skincare and makeup since I guess since I was diagnosed with lupus. That's when I started changing my lifestyle, and along with them I started learning about chemicals and stuff that you put in your mouth, like the stuff that we eat. A lot of it is highly processed. It was a long journey, but through the process of learning, trial and error, I've ended up with the 2 brands that I love using, and so that's the only thing I can recommend. But whether it works for you is a different story, because we are all different, and I never had big skin issues. And also keep in mind that skin issues is not just on the surface. Your skin is the largest organ of your body, and any imbalance internally will also show up externally. So think about your lifestyle, whether you're getting enough sleep, whether you're drinking enough water, whether you're eating properly, whether you're eating too much processed food maybe. All those factors can also show up in your skin. So you want to also look at those things. Any imbalances in your body will show up on your skin. I don't remember exactly because I kind of forgot already, but I think like each area on your face means different imbalances in your body. So I think the forehead would be something like I don't know, I can't remember now. Is it the lungs or the heart? And then if it's like here, then it's your liver. Next question is by Grace Lee. Hi Amy, I was wondering if you know how I can prevent my Gabrielle from sagging. Christina Black also asked, what are your thoughts on the medium-sized Gabrielle? I know that you love your small. Is it too big on your frame? I saw the medium size on Meghan Markle and I want it now. I don't have a special way of storing my Gabrielle. I literally just put all the straps on top in a beautiful mess like this, and it sits on my shelf like this, upright. I don't even have stuffing inside, which yeah, is incredible. I don't really have to do anything special to store this bag. If you see something different on your bag, or if maybe the leather on yours has softened quite a bit more, the only other way I can suggest to store this is lying down like this. Regarding the size, so this is a small, and it is quite small compared to the medium, because the medium is like this much wider and then this much higher. It's quite a larger bag. It's actually bigger than the jumbo size classic flap. So I'm not a fan of it, just because like you said, on my frame it just looks really big. I do think that some petite ladies can still pull it off, and especially if they're used to having larger bags and they need larger bags. But for me personally, I'm 5'4", so I'm not like super short. I'm not super tall either. I'm just average. But my frame is more on the slender side. And I do find that larger bags or bulkier bags do overwhelm my body frame most of the time, unless I'm wearing a larger coat. I tend to be the type of person who doesn't like bulky clothing in general anyway. I like my dresses. I like thin layers, and actually, I don't even like layers. I just like to wear minimal clothing most of the time. It just doesn't work for me. So I would never buy the medium size personally, because it's too overwhelming for my body frame and also for my own taste. And I don't need that size bag anyway, because you guys already know I don't need a bigger size bag. It's probably too heavy to begin with, and I almost never use my bigger size bags. The last question is by Kiwi Latte. What do you think of the Chanel Vanity case? Oh my goodness, I love it, but I am also 50-50 on that bag. I do love it, but I also kind of hate it at the same time. It's kind of like the multi-pochette. So reasons why I love it: it looks amazing. I mean, can you deny a Chanel bag with the vanity shape? It's so cute. It's so like almost retro, vintage looking. It has a couple of those luggage tags, and it just looks amazing. It looks amazing on anybody who wears it. I especially like the smaller size, not the tiny one, but like the is it the size small, or is it, I think I like the size small, but I also like the size medium. I've never tried the size medium. I think I might have tried the size small. The reason why I don't love it is because of the zipper. I feel like it's kind of hard to get in and out of it. It's a question of the opening. It's a question of whether I feel like it's gonna be practical enough for me. And the fact that it doesn't have any outside pockets, and there's no easy access unless you leave it open, and I feel like this bag is not going to be user-friendly. But I do love the look of it. I do love the aesthetics of it. I just feel like it might be an annoying bag, that's all. Maybe you guys can let me know down below if you own it, whether you find it annoying. And if you do, what are some of the workarounds that you have? Because, yeah, zippers and I just don't do well together. So anyway, thank you all so much for all your questions. It was great. If you're brand new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you back. And for the rest of you, have a great day or week ahead of you, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye!